one.
Welcome to the Wild Cannons podcast. To my right, we have Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. Hot summer day.
What were you doing this morning?
Hanging at the lake with my buddy Big Jeff.
Big
Swimming.
Jeff.
Nice. Not a bad day off. Can't complain.
Right on. To my left, we have our special guest, Josh Tosfurd.
Tosfurd. Nice try, though.
We just
Butchered
practiced.
it. I
man.
just practiced
We
this.
just said it 17 times. But
But otherwise, Josh T. Josh,
Yep.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you. And for those that don't know, you're a bike dude. So we have a bike dude in the studio. You played an integral role in Spokane bike scene, notably in the mountain bike scene. Your friends have described you as fucking hilarious and one of the hardest working people they know.
Oh, all right.
You've been a major force behind Hub-a-Palooza, the 3-day mountain bike festival that takes place in Beacon Hill. You've also been a key figure in other local mountain bike, enduro, cyclocross races that draws riders from the west side of the state, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Utah, Colorado, boosting Spokane's bike scene, exposing outsiders to our trails, while also bringing in tourist dollars to local businesses.
Fact.
You're a dog lover.
Yeah.
You love cars.
If your dog or your bike is lost, I'm going to get it back for you.
Nice.
So a dog, what dog catcher
Yeah.
finder?
I just like stray dogs. They just like come over to me and then like get in my truck and that's it. Like take them home.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
it's not in the creepy way.
No.
And then you're giving dogs back to their owner. So, Josh, we're excited to have you.
All right. Thanks. Glad to be here.
And I saw you were riding your bike around a little bit today.
Yeah. Just thinking about you in our old days, like riding fixies around, drinking a bunch of Paps.
Yes, we did. Lots of. I think it was more riding to bars than actual riding.
It
but,
was. Yeah.
but
No Paps today, though. And I kept my shirt on. So.
But we might have to circle back on some of those stories. But as we like to ask, where did you grow up and how'd you get into bikes?
This one's kind of feels long. But so I grew up basically here, but actually kind of like Deer Park, Deer Lake, and was kind of just stuck out in the woods until I moved into Spokane when I was about 16 with my dad. But at about age 12, there was a Norba mountain bike nationals here at Mount Spokane. My mom went to Green Bluff one day, ran into somebody that was there doing the race and like had a conversation and came home and was like, you should race bikes. And I didn't have a bike at that time. I had like just like a basic bike, right? I was like a 12-year-old kid digging holes in the woods, lighting stuff on fire. That's it. So my stepdad owned a motorcycle shop called Kawasaki Motorsports back in the day. And it just so happened right about that time, a bike shop opened up in his space right behind that. So it was called Spokane Mountain Bikes. And came home with a bike for me one day.
Nice.
I rode around a bunch, had no idea what I was doing, entered a race at Schweitzer. I definitely got last place, maybe second to last place. Had no idea what I was doing. I'm pretty sure there's a photo of me somewhere with like jeans on and like maybe like some weird moto knee pads over the top of the jeans between crashes. So yeah, that's where it started. And then I liked it a lot. Biking.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood racing until years later. Then it started to click, right? But yeah, that's where it started.
That's awesome. So your mom was just like, all right, we got to get you into this.
Yeah.
And dad was able to, maybe get you hooked up
I think
with something there.
Yeah, I think they wanted to give me an activity that was like, well, I lived in the middle of nowhere, right? So it had to be solo stuff. And we already had motorcycles and snowmobiles, jet skis, everything, because he sold that. So I don't really know why she was like that, but thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I guess.
And maybe I'm taking a question from you, Ryan, that maybe you're thinking, since Ryan's a moto guy, were you racing or riding moto? Like
No.
So no race background.
No, the throttle does not make sense. The twist throttle as a child, I crashed so much. I crashed all the time.
So then they're like downhill mountain bike races.
Something without a throttle.
It's just funny. I was the opposite. I crashed bikes, and for
Really?
some reason the throttle made sense.
That's funny. Yeah, motorcycles just want to like be out from underneath you is what I felt like as a kid. Like it just didn't want me on it. That's for sure.
I had a question from what you were saying. Was Schweitzer was doing mountain bike racing all the way back then? So they lift operated like mountain biking back then?
It was lift operated. There was a race series called WIM. It was by Round and Round Productions. One half of that is actually still putting on events. He's like mid 80s.
Damn.
The 24-hour race, he's a part of that. And then the Wednesday night races out at Riverside.
Is that the Star Twilight? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I don't remember what they call it, but he's part of that. His name is Gino Lasecki, and he was putting on races way back then in WIM, Washington, Idaho, Montana. So kind of went around everywhere.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know the history went that deep, so that's cool.
Yeah, and then that kind of led to things I did later as well. So
did you have like an influence of friends after you first started this, or how did you start running into people like or a crew of like being younger? And
so that's also thanks to a parent, because like for the first year or two I would do the races and I still lived so far away from everybody. I was just a kid that showed up, but I just did every event that happened on a weekend. So cross country and downhill, dual slalom, if it was there, whether or not I was good or bad at it. Just because that's what you did. I thought you just show up and you do everything that you can do.
Mm-hmm. So no practice, like outside of just raced?
I rode at home.
Yeah.
But like no friends really. Like, so I didn't get it. Nothing clicked for quite a while. I just would put in long rides after school every day. Right. But then my dad ended up working with a guy named Mike Murphy, and his son wanted to race bikes, Sean. I actually just got back from a 3-day trip. We went and did a 50-mile XC endurance race in Big Sky just this weekend. So together we've been friends. So like 28 years or so.
Yeah.
So pretty
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. So he was like my gateway. I had like, all of a sudden Sean was my buddy. He lived in Spokane. He had other buddies that rode bikes. And then that's when stuff started to click, when I had more people to ride with more often.
Yeah. And during that time, maybe it was after, maybe it was before, was there a moment that was just like mind blowing? Like you saw someone do something and you were like, okay, now I really want to do that.
Honestly, it was actually probably just watching Sean. He was a crazy good rider. So that really, to me, it gave me like something to base everything off of for the first time. So I can't remember like a mind-blowing moment that clicked. I just was like, I finally started to see what people could do on a bike and how fast you could go and like how to put sections of a trail together and to like hurt a little bit.
Right.
Because I don't think I understood that part, and just how much you just have to like be okay with everything hurting.
That's
pushing through
to do more. Right.
Yeah. So that's in that. And then I think, so we're talking about this racing aspect, and of knowing you, I don't see this like aggro competitive edge, like if we had hang out. So is there this like animal that comes out?
No, I was never that good of a racer. I was always like, Sean, just he's part of this conversation now. He'd be like, and actually he would say it about our buddy Willie, who we'd go and we went to do that race for this weekend, but he was like fast as everybody else on Saturday. Not quite the same on Sunday. Like I like probably got nerves and I would like blow up and just, sprint too hard into a corner. And then I was off the bike. But yeah, eventually racing the clock made sense. Not wanting to be caught by somebody, made sense.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I was ever like that good of a racer, but I think eventually I found my place.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think it'd be neat though to talk about, because someone that'd be influential in the area that we are during the winters. Talking about Willie. Yeah. You want to maybe give a shout out or just share, what you guys are up to? Just because he was a big influence just in the winter part of it, and we saw what he would do for the Kellogg, Valley there, Silver Valley. during the summer. So
yeah, I'll try.
Yeah,
I'll get a little choked up. So Willie Bartlett, he, at the time of his passing, he was our Shimano rep. But before that, he had run a lot of different operations at Silver Mountain. And he really, in my eyes, was like the driving force for building the bike park out there and getting events to happen there and just connecting so many dots all the time. Sweet. He also put on a big race called North American Enduro Cup. Some other promoters in the area started that. It's an enduro race. It's usually about 400 people, but it pulls people from everywhere. It was the championships for the US this year. He started that with some other promoters and then kind of carried it on as some of them faded away. But yeah, Willie was a dot connector. He put people together. He found resources for you. He somehow knew so many people to just kind of help you make things happen. And he was such a cheerleader. So pretty awesome.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And that's the way we saw him too, is he was just basically was always making it happen.
Yep.
And was giving back and gave back so much to the community, which I think was kind of unseen for a lot of people that didn't know him, of how much he did influence. Right, we know mountain biking for sure. But yeah, just great presence. So
seeing his memorial and how many people were like, they had like the same story over and over. And I was like, how did he give an hour a week to all of these people? There's like 300 people here. Like he had time to like listen and like, he put a lot out. So,
yeah. So you guys are doing a little, want to do a ride kind of in memorial of him, something that he was going to do.
Yeah.
That's where you guys were all getting together this last weekend.
He had mentioned doing this. I found out this weekend. He actually didn't commit to doing it, but some other buddy told everyone that Willie was going to do it. And so they kind of just put together a ride or put together the group, and then we all went over and did it.
So yeah, so cool. Solid community, I guess, is what I'm looking at of what maybe racing wasn't the thing, but the community is something that came out of it.
Yep.
And with that, so I knew you when you were working at a bike shop, Wheel Sport.
Yep.
What age did you get in the shop?
I was about 16. So I kind of worked at Spokane Mountain Bikes for a minute, or a Spokane Biking Board at that point, but it was never like I was not getting paid. I definitely was they let me use a stand and like touch bikes for a little bit. And then I snaked my way into Wheel Sport South, thanks to John Abernathy, who's one of my partners at the Bike Hub now. But he helped me get a job because I think he liked me, but I don't think he wanted to be around me that much. And so he got me a job at one of the other shops, and I worked there for a couple summers in between. Like I had school, right?
Yeah.
Junior and senior year. Then eventually the guy that was managing it left, and Vince Poff, who we were talking about off camera, he wouldn't hire me back, even though he knew me since I was a little kid. Shout out, Vinny.
What the heck, Vinny?
But that was fine. I went and did some other things after that. So I don't know. This is going to be so nerdy to say, but I got like really into playing music for a couple of years, and I do have a pretty good work focus when I'm trying to figure something out. So I definitely just went deep into that for a few years and kind of didn't do bikes for a while because I focused. And that was fun, and definitely showed me a way of like how I can put things together and like making my own way doing stuff. Then Sean and I went and rode Mount Spokane one day a few years after I hadn't really ridden. I ate shit, ripped my front brake line out. They're hydraulic, of course. So I went to the bike shop, and they knew me. They knew I was from the shop before. They they hugged me when I walked in the door, basically. And I was like, hey, can I just fix this up real quick? And they were like, sure. And I made the biggest mess everywhere. It'd been years since I had ridden or worked on a bike, and I just made a mess. And then at the end of all that, I looked at Chris Andreasen, who worked at the shop, at that time with John. And I was like, hey, if you guys ever, I'd come back to the bike shop if you guys ever wanted somebody back. And at that point, I had a lot of graphic design experience and some other stuff that I kind of taught myself in the meantime. And I think he probably was like, yeah, we can get Josh here and he can like put some of my ideas into motion. Yeah. Is what I'm guessing some of what he was thinking. Like he was good at the bike shop before, but also he has these other things he can do. So I forgot that part. Learned graphic design stuff while I was a kid because I was stuck in the woods.
Did you? So it was self-taught? You didn't go to school?
I didn't go to school. I also started like in the late 90s. I was like, I only rode bikes and I only did computer stuff. It's like not a lot of people know this.
Pretty nerdy.
Pretty nerdy. And I started a web hosting company. So yeah, so I had at that time there was no digital payments. So I just was like also a kid without a driver's license. So I just had a drawer and it had like checks in it and I'd have to get somebody to take me to the bank every once in a while. So from like a young age, I was always kind of like figuring things out.
Yeah.
Putting stuff together. And I think that
when you found a drive for something, it was there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I had no idea about that.
So they hired me at the bike shop. At that point, I couldn't even drink like one beer fully. I think I was 20 or 21 at that point.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that. Then we all know how things turned out. Yeah.
I think a crazy theme that we've had, there's a lot of guests that have graphic design background.
Yeah.
And either went to school or self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of crazy. Before we get into Ryan's question, should we do one of these smelling salts? Are you ready to go all in? I mean, we went from, half of maybe one beer to half of a beer in 2021. Now maybe you can do a little smelling salt.
I guess.
Yes. Josh was a little nervous about doing this.
If the hockey players can do it, I guess I could do it.
You can do it. Yeah, that computer nerd's coming out. Have you seen Mr. Robot on a sidebar?
Just a little bit.
Oh, great show. No, Ryan?
Nope.
All right.
On that.
What am I supposed to do with this thing?
So you're just gonna pinch it and it'll turn red. That's good. And then and then give a sniff. If you hold it close,
don't get it too close to your eyeball.
You might blast off. Ryan, take us away.
Here we go. Cheers, boys.
Oh my God.
Brennan, studio producer, how's yours?
Oh, it's very fresh. I actually cracked it and kept it a little bit further away from me, and it really clears you up.
Why do you feel it in the corner of your eyes?
Oh, my eyes watering so bad. My whole left nostril, I got it. But then you're like, I don't know.
Get back in there a little bit.
Get back in there.
Makes you feel alive.
Yeah. What do you think? Now that you kind of got to get.
No, it's not good.
All right. Well, we got a couple more if you need some.
All right.
So let's get into into the bike hub here. When did you start at the bike hub? Was it after that shop? Like move right on from there? Or?
I worked at Wheel Sport for a long time. Chris left to open the bike hub in 2009, and I did the branding for the bike hub when it first opened, and I was still working at Wheel Sport, still the manager there. But who else was he going to have do it? And John, who was his partner in the bike hub, was also half owner of Wheel Sport at that point. So, it was fine. Nobody paid me for anything. I just did it. So I technically started in 2009, but I didn't go there till 2014. I did quit Wheel Sport, and it was very satisfying the way that I did that.
How'd you do that?
I had known that I was going to leave, but I'll finish things. So I'm not going to burn down the house when I leave. I'm going to stay and do all of my part. Right. So the owner of Wheel Sport, the other owner, an older gentleman, I don't mean that. We can leave that in.
Loose
So he calls, and it's forever. I've worked there for a long time at this point, and he calls at 1:30 on New Year's Eve. 1:30. We're open for some reason from 10 to 2 or 9 to 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Don't even need to be open, but we are open. Everybody's just drinking anyway.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve, he calls at 1:30. I pick up the phone and I'm like, "Hey, Terry." And he's like, what time are you closing today? And I was like, 2, like we always do on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And he's like, 4 will do. And I was like, well, and he's like, it's not like it's a family holiday and you don't have plans. And I was like, actually, and he hung up the phone on me, just hung up. And he had never, I had never had an interaction like that with him. I knew it was in him, but like, I'm not like messing around. I'm pretty straight up. And he always treated me that way too. And so, but then he hung up the phone and I just go, oh, there's my cue. And I called John, who wasn't there that day. And I was like, hey, just letting you know, Terry just did this. I am going to leave my key on the counter. This other person will lock up and I'm done today. And he was like, oh, okay. And I had always taken January off for like 2 or 3 years before that. So I had already planned to take the time off. I was already ready.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't going to be there anyway. And I knew that there was another job waiting for me. I actually already had a bike at the bike hub waiting for me for whenever I showed up to work there. But it felt good to quit when somebody was an asshole to you. Can I say that on here?
Oh yeah. You can say whatever you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh yeah, I don't have to take that from you. And I'm actually not going to. And just,
I bet. It's kind of like, that's a great like mic drop basically. Oh, you hung up on me? Sweet. I'm out of here.
Yeah. And it was fine before that. Just to like be very clear. Everything was fine before that. But it was just like, I don't get treated like that. I wouldn't treat you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to also be like 1 foot out the door.
You think you'd be doing the opposite. You'd want to keep you. That would be in my mind.
They were blowing me up after that.
Mm-hmm.
And just a few times, not like a lot, right? It was pretty clear. He called, his wife called, and then the GM of the other stores called. And I just was like, I didn't answer the owner's calls, but I answered the GM's call. And he said something. I was like, no, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
We can be good here.
Yeah.
They're also about to bring in like polo shirts and name tags, or the other stores were wearing those. And I was like, I had told them long ago, like, people know I work here. It's no question.
Yeah. Oh, that's strange.
So
sounds like it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it felt good.
Yeah. Well, moving on with that. So what's your role? What would you say your role is at the bike hub?
I'm the GM of the bike hub.
Okay.
So, and I'm part owner now as well.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about other partners in that, or is it silent?
No, they're all there. So John Abernathy, he's still 50% owner. And then I quit the shop. I took my January off in like 2023. And I came back and I sat down with Chris, who was still owner at that time, and was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here anymore. And he's like, I get that. And at that point I have a carbon fiber wheel company outside of there, and I have an event company as well. So I was like, I have other things I can do that I can't do if I'm here doing this. And they're like bubbling, right? Like they could just, if I put in more work, I'm going to get that out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a hard decision, but I was like, and he's like, I get it. You have other things and you probably should see what's up. So I said, all right, I'll finish out the year, and then left at the end of the year. We were going on a trip to Berlin and Amsterdam. And so when I was leaving for that, I just called that the end, and it was good. And then if I had 3 months of vacation, which was also good. Every day you just do like what you like to do, but for more time than you normally get to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to be retired. I will be good at it.
Yeah. I think we feel the same way.
Yeah.
But then I got an offer from Chris to buy out the shop, and I was like, I can't do it alone. And if these guys leave, then I really can't do it with me and the other guy that got the offer from him. So we kind of included more people into that ownership group. So
very cool.
Yep.
My bikes, there's 3 of them being worked on.
3?
Yeah. Well, one's not technically mine, but
yeah.
yeah.
You brought 3.
I brought 3 in there.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
What's your, where are your guys' locations at?
So we have one on Pines and Sprague in the Valley next to the Sports Crew, and South Perry Street.
Gotcha. 2 locations. That's awesome.
2 locations. We had 4 at one point.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find people that are really good to work in that many locations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that in 2024, 2023, but everybody was spread so thin. It was like, it's painful for the guys working in the shop.
Yeah.
So
Can imagine.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to find that out, you're expand and then you realize like, oh,
I made a little bit of a mistake, a little overcorrection. We shut down 2 things in 1 year, and learning some lessons from that.
Yeah, so, you learn from it. You got to move on.
Yeah,
but if you want the quality, it's it happens.
And we're a 5-star business, and we try to maintain that. Like, we work really hard to make people feel good when they walk through the door. So, and that takes a lot of the guys' energy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's gratifying to see. I'll be gone. Like, I was gone this weekend for that event, and I'll see Google reviews coming in, and those are voluntary. So we're not asking people to do that. There's nothing triggered to be like, will you go write a review? It's like, people had a good enough experience. So, and if you know that 3 people did that in a day, you're like, damn, the guys are feeling it today.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's a lot of the bike community is like big and large. I feel like in Spokane, or big and small. Like there is a lot of people that do it, but the core group, like you say someone's name, almost everybody knows each other.
Yep.
For as many bikes go in and out the door.
Yeah, totally.
So that word of mouth carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure having good employees is bigger than anything.
Yeah.
It's got to be a good feeling when you can leave. Your place is in good hands. And
and that's what part of bringing in more people as ownership was. Like, everybody has some skin in the game and wants to keep it running well.
Yeah, and just thinking in how longevity of employees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the guys that I don't know that I see in there have been working there for years.
Yeah, we do not have a high turnover rate. So actually this morning I was pedaling around and I stopped by another shop in town we have a guy that used to work with us. He works there now at Alpine House. And I stopped in to see him. And then 2 minutes later, a guy that works with me at the South store rolled in to stop and see him, right? Like, we don't make enemies at the Bike Hub. Mm-hmm. There's not competition can be good. And we actually prefer when another shop does a good job, because they don't ruin the cycling experience for somebody that's new. That's super important to me. So I've spent a lot of time in this. I'm 42. I did my first race at 12. I've been doing this for 30 years. The community has fed me my entire adult life. So
yeah,
I'm not trying to taint that.
It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Was it Chad by chance that you were?
I was going to see Kyle. Chad was there.
Chad was there.
But Kyle I worked with every day. Kyle Mensing for the last few years.
I was going to say Chad probably only worked at Wheelsport, not the Hub.
Chad only worked at Wheelsport. Oh no, he did work at the Bike Hub too for a little bit. Yep.
Oh yeah, because that's where they're right next door when he was at the Creel.
Yep.
Sorry.
Did the old back and forth.
Cecil.
Yep.
Well, let's get into the Hub-a-Palooza. Can you explain that?
Yeah. In 2007 or so, somebody did a really bad job putting on a race. Sorry, but it's true.
Honesty is good.
Yeah.
For the listener, the facial expression sold it all.
Yeah. I'm not trying to talk shit, but they did. And that that led to the next thing of just another thing where I was like, all right, Chris wanted to do it. He's like, we could probably put on a race. Can you figure out how to time it? I was like, yeah, I can figure out how to time it. Then I also, graphic design stuff. So I knew how to technically put it all together and visually, and then get people there. So we just kind of started putting on a race in 2008. That's the earliest year I can remember.
Was it always called Hub-a-Palooza? Did it have a different name?
It came to changed to Hub-a-Palooza when I came to the Bike Hub. So in 2014.
Okay.
I also did an enduro race in it for the first time that year. Before that, it was just 2 days of downhill racing, 2 separate days. So I ran a race series called the All Gravity Series. and that was from like 2009 to like 2013 or so. And so it was just part of the All Gravity series before I came to the Bike Hub. So that was a lot too. So there was one point I was putting on like 8 races a year and just traveling around. I had a blue van with my dogs and like 3 or 4 buddies from the shop. I just load them up and we just go sleep out of a van for 4 to 5 days and, you know, somehow roll out of the van over all the cans of High Life and Olympia and like go and put on a race for a couple hundred downhillers.
The real dirtbag lifestyle.
full dirtbag. You know, the spots where one of our favorites was the Whitefish race, because we'd spend like, we had some friends there. We would just go swim in the lake for a few days. We'd go ride for a few days before. We'd go to Glacier after the race. You know where like all the rocks land when they come down onto the road?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we slept in those spots a few times. But it was like a beautiful spot to wake up. You're not supposed to sleep there. You're not supposed to park there. But Glacier, you know, like it was a good thing to do for a few years. But when I was done putting on those races, I was done.
So you put on the races up at Whitefish?
I put on some at Whitefish, yeah.
So there's a lot of coordination going on with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's surprising that they let me do that.
Do you have to have like? My mind's
there's a
like,
lot. I had insurance. I was faking it till I made it for a long time. I had the insurance and I had all the stuff.
Yeah,
but I was kind of a one-man show in a lot of that. Those guys that would travel with me helped me put it together like the weekend. But all of the stuff beforehand was like I was running a website, answering all the emails is kind of still that way for everything. Like doing a lot, all the organization beforehand, and then.
I'm sure on race day, running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah, for race week, yeah. Hub-a-Palooza is like I'm out of the shop usually for like 8 days, and like it's a lot. It's really fun. There's some really good people that have helped me for years that show up. Sometimes I don't even see them until the race weekend comes, and then they just show up there like the week before. They're like, "What day am I starting with you?" And they'll just spend the week with me and like. Maybe get paid, maybe not. Just depends on how things work out. They just do it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a big, and it's like the season opener. So back to it. Hub-a-Palooza is like the season opener for all of the racing in the Northwest.
Dang. And where's that taking place?
Beacon Hill, right here. Okay. Yeah. Right in the middle of town.
I helped you. You put on something. It was at Mount Spokane. Yeah. And it was down at the Bear Creek or whatever the lodge is down there. Mm-hmm. And you guys had a rental U-Haul.
Yeah.
And I was shuttling people in the back with bikes.
Yeah, you were.
Up to the roundabout.
You were the shuttle driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, shuttling's great.
I think it was I can't think of the other guy's name. He's a skier. He rides 49 a lot.
Connor.
Yep. He was the other shuttle driver.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, "This is all you do." And I was like, "Sweet, got it."
Yep, it's a fun time. The shuttles are hella expensive.
Shutting the door on them.
I don't know why they want the door shut. Sometimes, like, I just leave that thing open, but
it's a breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my memories. Not being a mountain biker, but just saying, I'll help out, and then just hang out and drink beers afterwards. Mm-hmm. Like, the Mount Spokane Road? Yeah, okay, here we go.
We had a race down in Moscow, and it one year rained like torrential, and the one guy was Mustache Mike from Moscow. He was one of the trail builders down there. He also drove the U-Haul off the road at the end. Nobody was in it, but that was like shut down the road. We had to get a tow truck. They got to like go around the trees, cable it up, rip it back up onto the road.
Oh, that's crazy.
Everything worked out all right, but yeah,
I love those stories.
Any other events you're still helping out with right now?
That one takes so much time that it's kind of hard. As as you get older, it's hard to commit time. And then that one kind of makes up for, even in the years when I was doing more events, like most of them cost me money. And then I'd have like 2 that would make enough to like catch up with the others. But no. Oh, well, there's things in the works. Last year, like the last 3 years, I did with Kyle Mensing, who's not with us at the bike shop anymore. But we did a cyclocross race series together at night. It was really fun, really expensive. If you have to rent light towers, they're like $2,000 a day. The math doesn't work out. There's not enough people to pay for that in Spokane. So, yeah.
Sounds like a cool idea, though.
It was fun. We called it the night shift. We had enough people show up to make it fun, but it was on Wednesdays, and it was a long day. When I wrote us our $800 checks for the 4 races we put on at the end of the series, I was like, yeah, we both got underpaid. So fun to do, but
I'm sure a lot of people in the bike world are very thankful of all the time, that you're putting in for these events. So
they are. The bike community in Spokane has supported me a lot. So they have shown that, and it makes it easy to kind of keep trying things. I started a wheel company. I had instant support. Like for the first year I started that, I was like, oh, I might have to only do this. People just bought all of my wheels, and that's like a $2,000 product. That's it. When people just started buying them, I actually was I was in awe, because it was like,
yeah. And if you need help getting the word out too, I mean, you can sponsor the podcast, and then you can be one of our sponsors.
So you're building wheels?
Yeah, I work with an engineer, and then we have a facility. It's kind of on hiatus right now. It's a lot to manage.
I imagine, yeah.
So it was kind of when I left the Bike Hub before coming back and being a partner in it, I had left to go do that because I needed to focus on it fully or not. And then part of my idea with coming back to the Bike Hub was that I'd be able to integrate all the stuff I do into my day. I could do the wheel company. I could do more events because I have more people, and I can just do it all in one spot, and I don't have to do it separately. That was like, best laid plans. Not really possible.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll work out.
I'll figure it out sooner or later.
Let's get into some favorite places to ride. What's your favorite mountain to ride?
Oh.
You don't have to blow up any spots out.
Yeah. Are there like secret spots that and that's a good.
Nah, there's not really secret spots around here. There just is what there is. But we have a lot, and I'm kind of weird. I don't have favorites of anything. I just either like it or I don't like it. And so I don't really I just
go do it.
I don't really think about what's the favorite, but I did ride Italy, and that's not near here, but that shit was good.
Like Dolomites? Like where?
We were in Aosta, and then I don't really know how to say it, but Finale Ligure, which they had put on some enduro World Series races, and we went and did a trip, and it was like 200 miles of downhill in 8 to 10 days that we were there of actual riding, and it was the perfect trip. Everything about it was perfect. So we just the stops in between riding, and then all of the trails, and the guide service. We had our guide was a former pro World Cup racer. So we also had, anytime you go do something, I'm sure you guys do, but you go and if you do it with a group and you're paying for a heli drop somewhere, right? They're going to judge what your group can take.
Oh, it's first run.
Yes. Yeah. And so we had a group that was good. So the ride gets catered to what you can do.
Yeah.
And so some really good stuff.
That's sick.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Legacy Bike Park is super fun. That's in Whitefish area.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun there. And obviously there's classic spots around Spokane, Beacon Hill. They're putting so much work in up there all the time. We actually have trail builders here now that are neglecting their family and going to work on spots for us to ride. Thanks, guys. So Beacon's great. That's why we get 400 people to show up and race it in April of every year, because there's so much work that gets put in up there, and everything else is still getting worked on a bit. Mount Spokane will have more trails eventually, and Mount Spokane is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most vertical we can get closest to home. So
that's awesome.
Cool area if you're into mountain biking, that's for sure. There's just so much.
I'm just too scared of getting hurt.
I can leave from my house I just drop behind my house and I can do 50 miles of trail. I live kind of like right on the Centennial Trail over on the west side, and you just drop behind, and there's so much because we can go to the Bluff, Riverside, both directions. So pretty fun.
I grew up in the East Coast, and we didn't have any kind of. It was in upstate New York, and we didn't have any kind of trail systems or anything. You know, it's all private land. So it's just cool to hear about all the trails that the public can access for free. Right, Beacon's free access.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's even like parking's free. It's like hasn't been. I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming places that, I guess Tiger, right? That's still free. I just think of these areas that are so popular and they get packed with cars. But
yeah, and we have a lot of our spots are on conservation land out here. So like Hyler Creek, however you say it, Micah Peak, that's all conservation. And then Beacon, they did so much work to secure land on Beacon and put all that together with the landowners. They've done a lot of work over the last like 25 years to keep that space for us, which is like nobody has that. So,
dude, that's
rad.
Yeah, so, good info.
A lot of good mountain bikers out here too. A lot of good bikers, and it's awesome. I feel like it's a big part of like the community out here, and you know, healthy lifestyle. You know, so it's a cool community,
and it's growing for sure, which is great for us in multiple ways. You know, keeps like more trails, more people will put work in, keeps our shops open.
Dude, is there more people that mountain bike now than you'd say like when we were growing up then?
Definitely. I did 2 or 3 years ago at Hub-a-Palooza. I was like, there's a lot of kids here. And then I did a count at the end of it, and I was like, oh, there's 130 juniors. That had never happened before. And it was just like all of a sudden, just like a ton of kids. Our cross-country race teams here are like 120, 130 kids. So it's different.
That's crazy.
And they do everything too, because they're getting raised differently. So a lot of them are ski racers. A lot of them, like, they might do cross-country racing because that's the program that exists for them, but they want to be enduro racers. They want to get more aggressive.
Yeah, so they're exposed to it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Have you had any gnarly crashes or injuries throughout your career?
Yeah, I had plenty, but just, nothing. Actually, I don't think I've ever been knocked out though, but my bones just break. And, you know, got old man shoulders now. My knees are all jacked up.
I don't think your bones just break. I think mountain biking.
Mountain biking broke my bones.
I know, I'm just like shoulders gone.
Yeah. Then at some point, like 6 years ago, I just started hitting trees. I don't know why. Just something in me changed, and I was like, that's part of the trail now.
Not cool.
No.
Yeah. I got loose at Beacon a lot, and it's like I should not be doing this at all.
It's crazy how our bodies move, right? And all the things that we all do, like that you learn your body just knows what to do, when to do it. And humans can do some crazy stuff on snowboards or skis or bikes or moto, whatever.
Yeah, you can kind of roll out of it and you learn how to fall.
Or like you learn how to I passed somebody in the race the other day because we got the first downhill section was 5 miles, and
that's crazy.
It was a very long climb to the top, and then it was like an amazing descent to have after that. But I was chasing somebody else, and so I was like, they were like, "Can I pass?" And I was like, "One more." And the lady that I was passing, or I don't know who it was, somebody didn't hear me because it's just everybody. It's like 400 people are all on this trail at once, and so you gotta pass people if you can. And I had to like tuck so deep into my handlebar, and like I know I just missed her by like an inch, but I would have taken her out. I'm 215 pounds and I was hauling ass, and I was just, but like our bodies are crazy because they learn to move and like get out of our own way. So yeah, makes all the stuff we do really fun.
Yeah. It's cool. And you don't have to think about things either, and they just happen.
It just happened.
Yeah.
And I just knew I just like had that, like, you know, half an inch.
That spidey sense.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Is it time to give a little shout out to one of our partners here?
I think so.
Shout out to Uprise Brewery. Got to thank them for providing us with these adult beverages located down in Kendall Yards there. They have their tap room, all ages. We've mentioned the run club for those people that want to, hit the streets. And then if you're a brainiac and want to, get some trivia going, trivia on Tuesdays. So support a community, support local, support Uprise Brewery.
It's proven to make you snowboard and bike better.
Yes, it is. It is proven.
Is it on the can?
And paddleboard on.
Just kidding. Do not snowboard or bike while Uprise.
It does fuel us though. On the chairlifts. That's a nice little treat here in the studio. And Mexican lager, which is one of our favorites. Not sure how much longer it's going to be out there. So if you like that, it is seasonal. So make sure you get in and snag one of those guys.
Summer is almost over.
What's next? A little snowboarding. So I've seen you on a gondola, Josh.
In the winter?
In the winter.
Yes.
But were you on skis or
you
snowboarding?
saw me on a gondola?
No, I was actually in a photo on Instagram. But
oh, shit. It's possible that I was on skis that day on a photo on Instagram.
So are you doing anything up there on the,
no. And if I was on skis that one day, I was learning to ski that day. And then I was like, fuck that. Why do my feet hurt? I could have just done the thing I already know how to do.
That's why you should snowboard.
I gave those things away. Micah hooked me up. Good deal. Shout out Sports Grill, but
back to the bike.
Yeah, that stuff hurts your feet. But snowboarding's fun.
And this other thing just popped in my head because I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of it. Okay, I'm not a fan of it. There's these things called snow bikes.
Oh my God.
Have you seen those?
Yeah. Stop trying to do that.
I'm glad we can agree on that.
Okay, that answered my question. Yeah. And then this would be where Jeff would be interested, even though Jeff doesn't know shit about bikes. He's our, the three amigos. He likes to know about people's like snowboard setups. So we're thinking bike setups, and I'm sure you have a lot of bikes. But maybe if you could give us a rundown on like 3 bikes that you're stoked on right now.
Yeah.
And then kind of what you have going on. And then the sidebar question is, do you name your bikes?
I do not name my bikes.
Okay.
I'll answer that first.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't name our boards, so I don't know.
Yeah. But people do, and that's fine. That's their thing. My bikes are short-lived though.
Yeah.
I cycle them through. I basically just been riding one bike this year. It's the Transition Spur. It's really fun. It's really short travel. It's super dangerous, but it goes fast. Like everything you put into it, you get out of it. But I got home last night from Montana for that race, and I cleaned it real quick before the sun went down, and I took pictures and listed it for sale. It had a purpose.
Yeah.
Its purpose is done. I just bought it to do a bigger race. I'm actually going to do another one of those rides in a month, but I'm going to use something else for that. So, bikes are fun. I cycle through them too quick though. I got shade on a bike check that our media guy at the bike shop did. He's like, he'll sell it somebody is like, he'll sell it in a week, and there's no like picture. I don't know who that guy is, but I was like, you're right, but stop. Just let it be.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically just one bike is,
No, I got lots of bikes.
All right. So why don't we just skip to what were you riding today?
Today, I was riding an All City Thunderdome fixed gear. That thing
brakeless.
Actually, I rode 2 bikes today.
Dude, I'm sorry I gotta cut in. Bike names are hilarious. All City Thunderdome. I'm sorry. That sounds fucking hardcore.
I think technically it is if you ride it how it was meant
in the velodrome.
Yeah,
because you would be in a dome
and like going real
really
fast and trying not to explode. Yeah, so no brakes, fixed gear.
Yeah,
damn, really fun bike. It's one of those where it's like, so I have 2 All Cities. I built both of them, and it's kind of like bikes that you don't get rid of. You just they change them every year, and they're not super expensive, but they're cool. The other one that I have is a Macho King, which is you know.
It's a good name too.
Yeah.
Macho King.
Yeah. And that bike's super fun. We did the Midnight Century a few weeks ago. That's what I rode for that. So 100 miles at midnight, first Saturday of every August. Leaves from the Elk.
Damn.
Yeah.
How many riders run at this?
I think 70 plus finished this year, which is pretty sick.
Yeah. Those guys were flying. I saw Chris Dietz. And,
yeah, they did it in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
5 hours.
So 5 hours, and it is hard. It is not easy.
It's not road miles.
No. It has some road in it, but by then your taint is already so pissed at you. It's a really fun, it's like a very fun experience.
Party pace would.
Yeah.
That was John's suggestion if I do it.
Yeah.
He's like, stick to your own party pace.
Yeah. John was like, want to go party pace? And I was like, and then he like sprinted off and I was like, no, you're fucking done at 25 miles. I'm going the whole 100. I know where you're cutting out at. I'm not doing what you're doing right now. Stop trying to like rope me in, because people will
baiting you.
Yeah. People will like do that. And the first year I did it, I was off the couch, had like no miles in. Those guys, I didn't realize that so many people just go and don't plan to do the whole thing. They just go ride the first 25 miles with you, the easy 25 that you can sprint the whole way. And so I sprinted the whole way, and I guess I still wasn't an adult at like 35, and I wore nothing. I wore like a jersey and shorts and brought like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with me. And I was like, yeah, I can do 100 miles on that.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Palouse is like 30 degrees and you're riding through it. And so luckily somebody I was with had a spare jacket for me and gave me that. But I made it to mile 50 and I had to call my buddy Barry, and who somehow answered at 4 a.m. And like he picked me up and drove me home. Thanks, Barry.
Dude, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah.
He lived in Kellogg for a while.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. He's gone.
Man, there was something I can't remember.
Barry was in the 4-pack of guys that used to just roll out and help me do races, though. Spent a lot of time together. He's a good guy. But yeah, Midnight Century. If anybody's listening to this, it's worth it. But 3 PB&Js, wear some long sleeves. You need at least 3 PB&Js to get it done, though.
And have a number of somebody to call at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
that's right. That will answer.
Oh my gosh. Love it. So this is the little section we've been calling what comes to mind.
Okay.
And so I'll start them off, and then you're gonna
all right,
fill in the blanks.
Yeah. So if you want to grab one for me too.
Yeah.
It's nighttime. You're in Riverfront Park, and you throw your fixie into a tree.
Oh, well, I'm definitely leaving the fixie in the tree all night. I am done with it at that point. That is for sure. And I don't know how I'm getting home, but yeah, hopefully it'll be there in the morning. I don't know. I'm going to need some warm up on this.
Did you go? That was you.
I did that. Yeah, I did that. I did get my bike. I did.
Did you go back the next day to get your bike?
I did.
So it wasn't locked up. You just threw it in a tree and then went back to
throw it in a tree, and I did go back to get it.
And it was there.
It was not.
Oh, no.
I did get it back the next day, though. I mean, there could have been more than one time, but the specific time I'm thinking about is pretty sure it was in front of Nito Burrito. I think that a guy named Rich Kimple, who runs the BMX track up north, I think he flattened my tires. Somebody definitely took my bike, crashed the shit out of it into the river, and then a fisherman found it and took it home and called the bike shop because there was a sticker on it. And somebody was like, I have a bike here, and it looks like this. And they're like, that's Josh's bike. And so I wasn't even without it for like 5 hours.
So crazy.
Damn. Shout out that fisherman.
That
guys.
All right, here we go. Allegedly sleeping in the bike shop, and you were visited by
the Popo. I don't even know how you know that. Are you Nardmoring me right now? Yeah. But I just told that story yesterday.
You did?
On the drive home from Montana.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Do you want to elaborate any more on that, or is that
it was pretty no. I think I was sleeping on a bunch of like padded shorts, and I looked up and they rustled me, and I looked up and they go, "Oh, it's you." All right. And then just I was like, damn, I should have locked the door. But yeah, that was after the Midnight Madness sale. So
I remember those. I remember those.
Yeah, you don't drive home after those.
Maybe being the self-proclaimed bouncer of Mootsies.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe one or two times.
Maybe one or two times. I don't remember any specifics though. So
what about pictures of cyborgs?
Oh hell yeah.
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 And loving to wrestle afterwards.
That's all cyborgs do to you. You drink a pitcher of Cyborg with your buddy, and then you go and you wrestle on the sidewalk. That's it.
I'm never drinking a picture of that.
And also, no, you can't get it anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
All you can get from the lady who made the Cyborgs is some physical fitness these days. So Aaron that used to make them just trains people now. So
yeah, respect.
Yep.
It's another good one. Yeah, connected with Mootsies there. Downtown again.
Mm-hmm.
Hoop Fest.
Oh,
I'll give you a hint. Tall Zach.
Yeah.
Cable lock.
Yeah. Yeah. So am I supposed to complete this one?
If you want it.
All right. So I used to carry on my fixed gear. My lock was like a 6-foot cable with a hefty padlock on it, and that's a just in case. Like, I'm not looking for a fight, but people are dicks on the road. We were riding back to my house after Hoop Fest one night, and on Hoop Fest weekend, people are like extra dicks. And this truck just starts like pushing me off the side of the road, and I used the cable and lock for its purpose. I just took it and gave it the nice little fucking Braveheart swing into the windshield of his car or of his truck, and he kind of lost it after that. We sprinted off. He chased us down. We took a corner, like outmaneuvered him for a second, but we were also on fixed gears, so it's kind of hard to maneuver a bunch. And I definitely got blasted by a truck at probably 30 or 35 miles per hour. He launched me across the road. I Looney Tunes into the side of another truck and just like sunk to the ground. Got away with just like a cut on my head and nothing else really.
Damn.
Pretty sure I saw that guy on the freeway a week or two later. That bike was on top of my car, same bike that got stolen that I hung in the tree. It had orange wheels on it. I think it was like
it had black. It was a black frame.
It was a chrome, like a polished aluminum frame with orange wheels, and it was like noticeable. And so and I knew what the truck looked like too, and the bike was on top of my car, and that truck like came up on me, and then I think he saw the bike and he sunk in the seat. There was no head there any longer, and then just blasted down the road. And he was not speeding like that before. So, but you know, it was all done by then. I wasn't gonna like go 100 to catch this guy.
Yeah, he already tried to kill you once.
Yeah. I was in a GTI, and he was in like a big lifted Chevy, right?
Yeah, I remember that bike in that car.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
Crazy story. And then I need to give a shout out to, where I'm getting my info from. So Nori.
Oh, nice.
Zach, and then John.
Sweet.
Yeah. So thank you guys for helping me out there and what comes to mind. But as we were talking earlier in the studio, something else just popped in my head as we would ride bikes to these bars. But what about the Rainbow Bar and Grill? What comes to mind there?
I don't want to plead the fifth.
All right. Sounds good. And then just some passions outside of bikes. I know photography has been something that's been a pivotal piece. And then also kind of like bikes, I feel like cars have kind of been a thing that you get really into?
Yeah, I was raised by a motorhead, so built my first truck with my dad when I was a kid, and then that, like, old cars are fine, but I'm into like a little bit more. Like, I want it to start every day, and I want it to go 100 really fast. So
yeah,
really quickly.
And it seems like a lot of the Audis and the Volkswagen have kind of been where you've leaned into.
Yeah,
and then the van.
The van was sick.
Did the van have a name?
No. Oh yeah, it was just called the All Gravity Series Mega Van.
So there was one night we were at Blue Spark, and Dustin was there, and they just pulled up in the van, and they went in there and grabbed me, and they said, "Get in the fucking van." And
sounds right.
Went in the van, and then we just started bar hopping.
Yeah, that van had this thing where it never worked until I needed it to work. It was like a fucking transformer. It was like, if I had to put on a race, van ran fine. In between that, don't try to use it for anything. I don't know how that happens, but for some reason it did. It lit on fire one time in the bike shop parking lot. Like, there's a video somewhere of just smoke coming out from the hood. The Sports Creel guys came over and they're like, "Josh, your van is on fire." I went out there, we put the fire out, I rewired it real quick, drove it home that same day.
What kind of van is it?
As well, I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. It did get to a good home, but it's an 82 C10 or G10 shorty van. So I actually put on. So this is how my races went back in the day. I think I would make like, so races are messed up because you could seem like you're charging people a lot of money, but there's like a lot of costs, right? And so much work. Like, I left this race, I didn't pay myself anything, but I had like $1,000 or something. I think I put on a race at Schweitzer, and it was like, I was still kind of a kid at this point, but I had like $1,000, and I drove down. It's that road that goes down, like, wall turns into it, like, anyway, there's just houses and you're driving down a hill, and this house always had a thing parked there, and all of a sudden this van was just right there. And I remember buying it for $800. I went and talked to the guy, and I was like, and it had like, it was already lowered a bit, and it had like 12.5-inch wide tires on the back already. Like, it looked proper already. And it had this like velour roof that was like pinned up. It was sick. And I talked him down a little bit, and he's like, "You seem like you really want it. So yeah, I'll give it to you." But it had a spun bearing. Luckily, my dad, motorhead, we just bought it. I drove it home on the spun bearing. It was fine. Just had to go a little ways. And then we trailered it out, rebuilt the motor, used it for several years. That thing was like so good.
Yeah, it was a piece of you. I felt like
it was. When I moved, I bought a new house, and I moved from a tiny house with a huge shop to a bigger house with a 1-car garage. So I had to like downsize a bunch of stuff, and I have another truck that can't go. It has to stay. And the van had to go, but it went to a good home. So in the family still. But it got wrecked. Somebody, crackhead, T-boned him. Yeah, but
it happens. That's Spokane for you.
Yep. That van was good.
What about music? You said you got into music for a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I actually, nobody in my family played any music at all, but my cousin kind of did. So he was always an influence on me when I was younger. And then he was buddies with Nori, but how I know Nori, but he kind of was an influence on me for a long time. And then I ended up going to shows when I got older, and then like teenager, and then didn't know how to play music. And then one day I was, as I do with everything, I guess, as we were sitting here, I had a buddy, and I was like, "I kind of want to play." And he's like, "You can, you just go buy the stuff and then join a band." And then he called me, and he's like, "You can, hey, these guys are putting together a band. You should just show up. That's the best way to do it." I had no fucking idea what I was doing. But I bought a bass guitar and an amp, and then showed up to this practice. And I was like, I had played tabs a little bit before that, didn't understand what I was doing. And then I was like, can you just write down like what you need me to play, and I'll just play along with you. And then they let me stay around, which I don't understand why. I would have been like, get the fuck out of here. Learn to play something. But they did. And then like a couple weeks later, I remember I woke up on a Sunday. We were supposed to have practice, and I just like got it at that point. It feels like a few weeks. Who knows how long it was? That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and that was like a big part of my life for a couple of years. But then that was like, I went hard into that, and dragging a bunch of people around, like trying to. One guy is still around, Shane. He's partner in the bike shop with me now. So, but he like getting a bunch of people to like match. This is going to sound douchey again. I don't mean it that way, but like match your drive, like what you want to do is really hard when there's like four other people. And so that led to quick burnout. Cause I was like, we're getting signed. We're going to figure this out. We practice 3 days a week at least. We had a van then too. You know, we put together a couple like Northwest tours, and then like one where we went across everywhere, which of course cost us money because we'd fucking, you know, but yeah,
experience.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
But getting people, like keeping people like kind of dragging them along
to be focused
so hard
on that same goal of
wore me out pretty quick.
Yeah, because you're going to feed off those people that if they're putting as much time into it, you're going to feed off that.
And they did a good job hanging on, but it was like, who has the energy to keep doing that? I didn't know if I don't think I obviously didn't. And then egos that people have is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Do you still play at all just for fun or?
Zero. I did a few years ago. I bought a bunch of like keyboards and I started just programming stuff just so I could do something musical. And that was fun. Yeah. But I also, for that winter, I feel like I spent like so many hours in the basement, just like playing music and making stuff up. And once like real life came back around, it was hard to do that.
Yeah.
And do other stuff that I had to do. Once in winter, I always think I can do everything because work is slow, but it just wasn't possible. So yeah, I noticed you had that guitar.
Yeah.
So what you got in there?
That's the Fender Strat.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you said earlier, were you jamming with Jeff then?
Yeah.
Big Jeff?
Just a little guitar sesh. He's getting into it, and I've self-taught, but just played for 4 years, but just for fun.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
It is fun. I've thought about buying stuff again to play because people still play music around you, but
yeah,
I don't know.
You seem like a creative person too, you know, so graphic design and stuff. So, you know,
you have a switch though. It's like all or nothing, kind of all or
a little
nothing.
bit. Yeah.
When it's kind of some of the side stuff, it seems like.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, maybe you guys, you know, get a little play, get a little jam going, you know, before a race or something, you know. I'll just do my normal, I'll sit around, you know, just, you know, shake hands.
Well, you'll just drive the shuttle, bro.
Drive the shuttle and then crush beers. Got it. Next part. This is our hot takes.
Oh, we got more?
Yep. Right. This is kind of be the quick part of it.
Do you need another?
You don't want another?
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, Ryan and I are going to do another. Sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry, I couldn't wait.
Oh my God.
Left nostril every time. Oh
no.
I swear we're not drug addicts here.
All right. Drops or flat bar?
Wait, I got a question first.
Yeah.
What's wild cannons mean?
Oh, that's a great question. We haven't been asked this.
Yeah, you haven't?
No.
People just go along with it?
Well, I mean, on at least on the podcast.
No one has ever asked us a question either.
Yeah, no one's.
Yeah, I know it's kind of supposed to be one way, but
no, that's great.
No,
that's good.
So I'll kind of get into it a little, but I would like to say we're gonna have Jeff on here, because he is the part of it. He and Jeff and I were on a snowboard trip, and we were driving from Spokane through Montana to Wyoming, all the way to Salt Lake. We were hanging out with a buddy in Jackson Hole, and we had it was just an epic time. We just, recycling. It was like, foot of snow. It was Sunday. We had great snow. We watched the Seahawks play. They won. It's like exciting day. We're sitting at this little bar, Pinky G's. So it's a pizza place. They sell pizza by the slice, and we would go there every night. And we were with our buddy Tyler and his wife. And Tyler went to go feed the dogs and was coming back. And we were sitting at the bar, and Jeff was talking about like Tinder at that time, like it just come up, and he was talking about a girl that he was talking to, but he was going on this long rant about how she was this wild cannon. And I started dying laughing. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, and I was like, loose cannon. It's called loose cannon. That's the term. And he's like, whatever. But I was like, that was like the coolest thing ever. So anytime after that, like throughout the night, I would throw what would a wild cannon do? And then the next day when we were riding, like you can't, you're lost, whatever it is on the mountain, you're forgetting something, wild cannon this, wild cannon that. So that's why I just kept, anytime I could say it, we would say it. And it was more directed just to him. And then we were just calling him Wild Cannon. And then we had a soccer team and we were taking over the team and had this really crappy team name. And I was like, let's name it Wild Cannons.
Nice.
So that was our soccer team name. And then we started posting stuff on Instagram and we're like, we're not that good at snowboarding. Like we have fun, but we want to post stuff, but we don't want to put it on our own. So it just started Instagram with Wild Cannons. So that's where it all kind of started. And that's actually how we met Ryan. And then it just kind of taken off.
Sweet.
From there.
Nice.
But just having a little crew. And I've always been a big fan of crews. So that's where it all started, was that Pinky G's and Jeff not saying the right.
Not knowing the term.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's way better than loose cannons.
I like that. It is better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
perfect.
That's where it comes from. It's all you listeners that might want to know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Perfect. Back to hot takes.
Okay.
Drops or flat bar?
Flat bar.
Good answer.
Is biking an art, sport, or a lifestyle?
All three for sure.
Why?
Some people, kind of like what I was saying earlier about like me having to pass that lady, right? Like that's maybe what feels like the art part of it. Like you understand how everything around you works well enough to make it do what you want to do, how the bike works, how the ground works, what kind of ground you're on, all of that. Lifestyle is easy because you can build it into your life. You can build a life around the activity you're doing. What's the other one?
Sport.
Obvious. You can get into the pain cave. So anything you can do that with is a sport.
Favorite local, I put cyclist, but like bike rider of all time.
Oh, local of all time?
Yeah. Like who?
Vince Poff. Inspiration to all.
There you go.
Legend.
There you go.
He's a legend not only in the moto world, but in the bike world.
Soccer.
We'll just keep him in. Yeah, keep him going this whole time. He would definitely be one of them, though. He's been around a long time. So, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in the community that I think just have been here. Chris Andreasen did a lot for it. John Abernathy, still doing a lot for it. It's kind of, yeah, they're just low key though.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's a lot of that, but
yeah,
it's, I don't know,
good athletes, but also
good people
just doing their part.
Yeah.
So,
any young riders that we should be on the lookout for?
Currently, I can't answer that right now. I got,
not to put you on the spot. Or
yeah, I have honestly, unfortunately, feel a little disconnected from the last year of the bike shop. Has been really like it's like consuming kind of. So it's kind of hard to know any,
be tapped in there.
Yeah. And then I ride by myself all the time. So,
best local bike race event that's not put on by you.
No, just kidding. The 24-hour race seems to be really good.
Yeah.
And the Wednesday night mountain bike races out at Riverside State Park, people love that. So
cool.
And I think they do a good job. They get a couple hundred people every week. So that means you're doing something right.
That's a lot.
So
what's your thoughts on e-bikes?
I love them. They're like 35% of our bike sales. But also, like, I have two e-bikes. I have a mountain bike e-bike, and then I have a commuter. I actually rode both my fixie and my commuter bike today.
Can I gripe about the non-mountain bike e-bikes?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Throttles are dumb. Now that's the end of it. Go.
When I'm like on Ash on Maple, when I'm climbing back up to the South Hill after riding, you know, like 25 plus miles.
Yeah.
For me, that's a lot. But I'm riding up and I'm sweaty and I'm tired and I'm thirsty. And here comes Joe Bob on his electric bike with like a 7-Eleven 64-ounce slushy slurping away, passing me like right by me. And I'm like, fuck off. At least give me some room. Like that just drives me crazy.
I could see that.
I just don't like
That's what a cable lock and a chain is for.
That's right.
So that's mine.
Joe Bob will never know what hit him. No, they're really fun, but there's a ton of trash out there, and it's really unfortunate. Remember earlier I was saying we like good competition, people that like make sure that people have a good experience on a bike, because that'll keep people doing it. Well, right now we have this influx of people buying the most expensive bike they've ever purchased, and it's trash. And sometimes I have to be the one to communicate that to them. And I am not, like, I'm brash. I know that. But I'm trying to be nice about it and like be effective. But I have to say that to people so many times, like, you should return this if you can. Like,
yeah.
We can't work on this. Nobody will. This will be trash. Yeah. You should just spend $400 more, you know?
Yeah. Great gateway to get people outside. So I know I'm knocking them, but
the throttle is also dangerous.
But it's like, dude, just I'm like, you've probably never been like this where you're just dying, trying to make it up the hill.
Right.
And get that slushy out of my face. That's a real example.
Yeah, I felt that.
All the retirees in Coeur d'Alene are just zipping everywhere. And
I bet
cruising on those things. And they're never pedaling. They're just... You never hear them coming either.
Yeah. They need to make like those Toyota sounds, you know, when the cars are backing up and it's like... Yeah.
I was curious what your thoughts on e-bikes were, but that's cool. They have their place, right? You know?
They have their place.
Yeah.
And it's getting a lot of people out. I usually park my mountain e-bike. Like, I use it early season. It's sick because it's a time multiplier. So when your fitness maybe isn't right where you want it to be, you can go more and you can kind of like get like dust off the skills. So it's pretty good.
More laps.
Yeah.
That's what Chris was saying.
Yep.
When I had that conversation with him, he's like, dude, to get up there fast, you're not using all the energy. You get more, almost double amount of laps.
Yep.
Oh, I think you're up. Don't look at me. Thoughts on road bikers?
Oh, I love road bikers. I haven't been on a ride I haven't been on a road bike ride in a long time, but they know how to push themselves, that's for sure. So we do Wednesday night road rides from our Valley store, and I haven't made it to one in a long time, but getting out there and sprinting till you cramp with somebody is like, to me, pretty fun. That's like the race that I went and did is long and just like takes a long time, but for like a short burst, that's kind of my thing. Like, hence racing for 5 minutes at a time, you know, like it makes more sense to me. And like, I love that aspect of road biking. Like, you can just go as hard as you can.
And then what about like maybe the Costa road bikes, people wearing I wear it, so I don't say people, but I mean, basically you're wearing spandex out there. So like trying to say, oh yeah, like that's cool. But then everyone's like, you wear that. But Ryan and I were talking about it. You have a lot of F1 racers that are riding road bikes, and then moto as well. So
yeah, fully. We had like so many moto guys come in over the years. So I guess my theory on like road bikes for training and what people are doing like that, there are a lot of things that it's really hard to get your heart rate up and like to whatever point you want it to be at. On a mountain bike, it's too up and down. Like, I was struggling earlier this year because I knew I was going to ride at elevation. I needed my heart rate to be higher. I had to start riding my bike on the road more, because then I could control like my training more. On mountain bikes, you can't do that, but for like moto guys or anybody else like you need to train in those zones and get your heart used to being there, because competition itself is just going to like ramp that up. But yeah, road bikes are sick, and also going fast is fun on anything.
That's true.
So
I've never really heard it breaking down like that either. Like, you know, how you can just control the speed too.
Mhm.
There's too much variables. Mountain biking rather than road biking, you can just get to your heart rate, keep it there. When you need to cool down, you can slow it down a little bit.
exactly. Yep.
Makes a lot of sense.
I always liked it compared to running, because then you could coast when you hit that point, but you're still moving.
Right.
Like you're still going in the right direction.
Yep.
What about your thoughts on the Tour de France?
Oh, I don't even think about it. But a lot of people do, and that's great.
Yeah.
No, people will bring it up, and I always feel kind of like a little disconnect sometimes when people try to talk to me about it at the bike shop, because I don't know any of the riders. I don't honestly like I guess like sports, or you were razzing me earlier, like you don't like sports or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't really think about that, like racers. I don't really like follow racing. I don't of any kind. And it doesn't have, it's just like my focus is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's just, but I see it as like there's been some fall off in some areas, like it doesn't get the coverage that it used to have. They've been in a lot of trouble with doping and all that sort of stuff over the years.
Yeah, those guys are definitely like, they're all cheating. A lot of them. Yeah. That's which is unfortunate, but
they should just like make that where, you know, just like take whatever.
They're
just let her just take the rules off and just let them go at it.
Those stages are insane. Yeah, maybe if there weren't rules, people wouldn't be doping, because they'd be like, yeah, there's not like a rule for me to break. But like they're doing 100 miles a day on insane stages for like 14 days or more state or more miles. They're wild.
Yeah, 21 stages.
21.
21 plus stages, and you're riding over 2,000 miles.
It's insane.
2 rest days. Yeah. Right.
Do you think is there beef between the different types of riders, like road, downhill, BMX?
I don't think so anymore. Not in people that really just like it.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like an old school thing. It's dying off.
Yeah. I think that some people, like, there'll be memes or whatever, but I don't think it really goes much beyond that, if you ask me, because like bikes are bikes. And I don't understand how you could hate one, because like riding my enduro bike gives me whatever it gives me, and I choose to ride those kind of bikes more often, right? But if I have to go for a road ride, I know exactly where I can find the fun part of that. It's in a sprint here or there. It's like, how fast can I go down this downhill section? Or like, how much can this hurt before I can't do it anymore, right? You can find the fun in that.
Good answer. If you could take 3 friends on an epic month-long bike trip, who would they be and where would you go?
Oh, I feel like I'd be leaving people out.
Well, leave them out.
All right. Well, I know like Chris Andreasen and I, we travel real well together. We've done a ton of trips. I've got to take Sean, same thing. And it's got to be, so my theory on like traveling with people is they have to be able to just keep up and be self-sustained. Like, you don't want the friend that like needs something all the time, or needs to stop here, or like has a need that you have to be concerned with. You can just handle your own shit. So it has to be like that. So I'm going to pick, sorry for anybody I leave out, but Chris Andreasen, know we traveled together, tons of good trips with him. He always does a good job leading me the right way, right? Chris Walmsley also worked at the shop for a long time.
Snowboarder.
Yep. He's a snowboarder. He just wants to have fun too. He loves fun.
Yeah.
And then Sean Murphy, he loves fun. Like
good crew.
Yep. Good crew. And like, they don't give a shit. Every idea is a good idea, which is very important. So, and where would I go? Anywhere.
Yeah. Anywhere.
Yeah. Like,
because you don't have a favorite.
So I don't have a favorite. There's so many good spots to go to.
There you go.
Yeah, all those guys should go to it. We should go to Italy again. So, because I know I won't be able to recreate that trip from a couple of years ago, but I would love to try. So,
well, gotta try. What is there any whack trends in biking right now?
Yeah, there are. Tall fucking handlebars. Stop pretending like 2 years ago everything was supposed to be as low as possible, and all of a sudden you can be 4 inches higher and that's better. It is not. Weight is supposed to be low. Center of gravity is real. Physics is a thing. Stop. Also, just as a little gripe here. So I don't pay attention. I already said about like racers racing. People will go and try to set up their bikes like how racers have their bikes set up. That's fucking stupid. You are not them, and you are not riding what they're riding. Their terrain is steeper. They're going way faster. They also are getting new brake pads and new tires and a full rebuild on their suspension like every day. Like that World Cup pro and you are not the same person. I've been on the trail. I've ridden with World Cup champions, like world champion. Richie Rude, I did a training camp with him a couple years ago. It was really fun. Him screwing around on the trail is twice as fast as anybody else. Right? It's not the same. You're not them. So stop.
That's a big issue in the moto world too. People just, straight to the craziest setups and
that's
crazy suspensions.
I've
$20,000 bikes. It's like, what are we doing here?
It's not getting you anywhere. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It used to drive me nuts to watch the kids at the shop when we had a bunch of racers at the shop. They would just change their bikes, and I'm like, you don't even know what it rode like last week.
Yeah,
you're still changing it. Stop.
But those people are good for the industry.
They are,
because we say that in the moto world. It's like the older guys that are the guys, like the vet guys.
Yeah.
Like those are the guys like spending their ridiculous money on suspension and all the engine parts. It's not the kids that are buying it. So like those guys, like as annoying as it is, it's good for the industry.
You're right. It is. Yeah.
And then lastly, why do you love bikes so much?
I don't know. I've just been doing it so long. I guess I am bikes.
Great answer.
So it is like, there's a feeling to it. If I'm having like a messed up morning or like a messed up couple days and I just stop and I ride to work on a Saturday. Typically I do ride on a Saturday because I usually don't have to like leave to go and drive anywhere. Like that day's always the best day.
Mm-hmm.
Just the 5 miles there and back, like listening to Larry June, some rap music, like, and on my way home, it just makes the day like, it's kind of like bundles it up real nice.
Yeah.
So
great way to finish it off.
Yep.
Josh, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Do you have any thank yous or shout outs for anyone?
Nah, I gave them all already.
Right on. Yeah. Thanks, brother.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.